How you doing, Leo? I was recording earlier, but my ADHD, I started messing with the table. But I just wanted to put a quick disclaimer out. If anyone added any comments, YouTube's doing weird and deleting stuff on its own. So if you wrote anything and it's not there, definitely wasn't intentional, unless it's a weird FYI link. Anyways, I'll go. Leo, I pulled 2 out, and first card out, King of Swords in the upright. Now, trying to be very logical and trying to get all your facts together, looking at the attention to detail. Not a lot of emotional thinking. You're just looking at what needs to be done, task-oriented, detail-oriented. Can have Aquarius within your chart or Libra. What crosses you is a message about a movement. Maybe you want to send out a message about some upcoming trip or travel, or you've gotten a message about some upcoming trip or travel to you, or vice versa. Maybe you have a planned trip coming up, or let's see what's going on. Foundation for Leo. Foundation for Leo. Two of Cups. So the foundation, the causes of your situation, your physical, emotional needs, plus your subconscious desires. Your foundations is your soulmate, your partner. Now, it could be a romantic relationship, or also just, a karmic tie, like relative, friend, someone you've had a karmic tie, which isn't not just, it's not all about just romantic relationship, but, if you've had previous lives, if you've known each other within different lifetimes before as well, which is where we find a lot of close connections with this art incarnation. When you meet someone, you're like, oh, I feel like I've known you for a really, really long time, and you get this weird knowing, even though you've never known them really all that much, or, and it turns out you have like a ton in common on all of that, and that's usually due to that. And when we have incarnations within each lifetime, we usually will incarnate within a soul group. Your foundation is a soul tie, a karmic soul tie, which is all of our relationships, and you want to travel to see them. It's something that crosses you, something that's going on. You have a trip up ahead, and you're going to see someone that you're definitely closely tied to. Your past, Leo. That's interesting how that just came out. Knight of Coins. You've gotten, you're moving for money. Maybe it's a business trip. Maybe it's a work trip. Maybe you're moving for a job. Some kind of contract overseas. Possibly you've have a work trip coming up, and this place that you've been going to before, that you've known for a long time, and you've had roots and you've known the people there. It's like maybe you go back there to work on occasion, and you have a trip coming up, and you want to send out a message about a trip to a soulmate, to someone you are karmically connected to. Your goals, the rest of the Celtic cross. actually. 6, 7. So the pages are messengers. So it's a message about movement. The Knights is actually an offer. This is about movement, action. So you're going towards something that's for tangible means. Definitely something that could be financially related, or possibly going to offer somebody something in particular, something tangible. Possibly you have a gift for someone, or some kind of offer for somebody. Your goals and your conscious awareness, the best that can be accomplished at present. 5 of coins in reverse. You could be having financial issues. There could have been a huge financial loss within. Maybe there was a loss of employment, or there was a loss of a huge settlement, or a really just unplanned bills and expenses that came up. And you see, like, when this is upside down, it's like all the coins are falling out. And maybe it was like COVID, that, you know, you've been out of work for a while, and that whole time that everything was closed, you've been trying to catch up financially, and it's been hard ever since for you. Now you're hoping to come out of this, like, you know, this lack. And maybe you're moving for work and work employment, for a job opportunity. And you're going in somewhere particular that you're karmically tied to, and you have something to offer them, or you want to offer something to them. Now your future, what is just before you, is justice. Now they can have Libra within their chart, Libra, Gemini. But it's really just karmic justice. You know, this could be some kind of like some court situation. Maybe you've lost in some kind of court situation, or a divorce settlement, or some kind of settlement, and the courts were involved, and, you know, you were tapped out afterwards, or you're definitely at a loss. But in the end, it was like, it could have been, even though there was justice that was dealt, it didn't look like it was tangibly or financially within your favor, and you had to pay out. Or you got a lot less than you expected that you would in a certain situation. Or it was like, maybe there was a loss of work or a job, and, you know, there was a lot of issues there, and it was like karmically, it was something that was bound to happen for a long time, but it's like somebody called it out and they saw it. And there was a judgment that was made on it, and justice was dealt within the situation, whether it was negatively on your behalf, and it looked like tangibly it was, financial wise. It could have been a divorce, you know, and you're looking to build yourself back up. And it's like a court case that you lost, and now you're moving into like calmer waters. You're moving away to, like, because you want to leave all of this behind, you know. Even if you didn't get, like, even if you didn't have to pay out, you definitely didn't get what you thought you felt like was owed to you. Now you're moving forward, you know. You feel like in some ways, like, you know, it is what it is, you know. Stuff fell where it should, justice was dealt, you know, now it's time to move on. Like, you can't stay and wallow, you know, forever. It's something that, you know, it's a part of life. You want to leave it behind you now, and maybe when it's at an end of a situation, whether it is an end of a job, a high conflict, a high drama job, or even a relationship or marriage, you know, when it goes bad, it turns people into things that, you know, you wouldn't feel yourself being capable of turning yourself into, you know. Otherwise, like, out of that situation, it's the stress that it makes people, like, it just depends on how equipped they are to handle that kind of stress, and to try to implement tools into, like, you know, to controlling that stress, which is, you know, I'm definitely trying to do that as well. I mean, I'm not trying to play high and mighty. We're all just kind of learning as we go, you know. And that's where it is. It's like, you always know that no matter where you're at, there's always room for learning and improving. And, you know, sometimes we do things in certain situations we're not altogether proud of. We're in a bad situation and we're crunched and stressed, but, you know, it's important to see the situation as a whole as well. That, you know, we're not the best when it comes to stress either, and it's a practice, you know. And maybe you felt like you had to pay out, or you lost a job with something, and you felt in a way that in some ways it was just, but how you see yourself, your personal strengths and weaknesses as an individual perspective of you. This is happiness, this is joy, this is a new perspective. So what I'm seeing really is that you cut things out. You're moving away, and you're sending messages out that you're moving away. And because you have a deeper purpose, you know, and you saw a new perspective, and a light was shown on a certain situation, and you were living within a lack mentality in some kind of way, whether it was a job that you hate, or a toxic family member dynamic, or a toxic workplace, or, you know, it's like not being paid what you were worth, overworking. Like, you moved away from all of this because you want to be a happier person. And this was the justice. You gave justice to yourself because you want to pull yourself out of the lack mentality. You just don't want to be like a zombie, you know, the living dead, stuck in a bad situation that doesn't get any better, and you just get through the day just to get through the day. And you want to give yourself justice by moving on. And you have something tangible that you're going towards. But the Knight of Coins, it's something that, it's a slow coming tangible means. It's like, it's slow, but it's steady, and it's something you got to work towards. But, you know, it feels like you were thinking really logically about this situation, and perhaps you've thunk really emotionally about this situation in the past, and that's kind of what kept you in the situation. That's what kept you into this lack mentality, because when you think in emotional means, you tend to make irrational decisions, which is staying in a situation that you're not happy or you're not being valued enough. And even though you're karmically tied, you decided to give yourself justice, and because you saw something, you saw a new perspective, you saw your path, you saw your vision, possibly of a soulmate, or possibly integration with yourself, on how to become more integrated, on how to bring the happiness back into your life. And that's finally bringing justice to yourself and pulling yourself out of the lack mentality. Now, your environment, your home, your surroundings, family, loves, friends, work, that which is outside of yourself, and how others perceive you. They see you as the Queen of Wands. Someone who is powerful, creative, definitely like a fire sign. This is Queen of Wands is usually an occult practitioner, a spiritualist, a psychic. But this is creativity. And, you know, people see you as powerful. And definitely you are. They see you creating something. And your hopes and fears of attaining the goal, the lesson to be learned, blocking your development. Your hopes and fears of attaining the goal. You hope for a new financial beginning. You hope to go towards something like a new business or a new job, a new career path. Something that is definitely, you feel like it was divinely given to you. It was a talent. You're building something from the ground up. And this is wealth, but it's not like lottery wealth. It's like generational wealth. And it's like a beginning of something that could lead to such amazing things. But it's like the flicker be right before the fire. And this is what I'm seeing happening. This is what I'm seeing, like you're seeing the possibilities. This is you, Leo. This is you, Leo. They're seeing everything, all of your potential of something new, something magical. And it's gonna lead to emotional fulfillment. Whatever you're moving towards or moving away from, whatever dynamic or paradigm or drama that other people put in your life, that you put yourself in, and you pretty much oppressed yourself, you decided to cast off those chains and go towards something that is deeply spiritually ingrained within you. It was divinely given into you, like given to you. And it's something that's deeply karmic, and whether it's a person or a business or a career path, it's gonna lead to such amazing things. And wow. And people might not be happy for you. It's gonna bring a lot of conflict, you know, because sometimes when you see somebody do really, really well is when you see how kind of the people react around you. This is competition, this is conflict, this is shit talking, triangulation, 5 of clubs. There may be people talking about this. Like, what? How are you doing this? What is she doing? How is she tangibly okay? You know, does she deserve this? Maybe I deserve it better. Why does she get this? You know, there could be people talking behind you because you decided to walk away from them. And when you decided to walk away from the conflict, you're walking into your abundance and you're leaving the drama behind, and it freed up your energy so you could manifest with. This is what happens, the rabble. When you leave that behind and you don't pay no mind and you deal with them, they start fighting within themselves. And you're doing the right thing, Leo, because holy crap. Look at this on the bottom of this deck, Yang energy. This is divine masculine. This is creation. Creation, like this is that spiritual awakening, and that's what they say when you start becoming conscious. It's like your soul will become on fire and it starts burning away the false illusions around you, and you start becoming more aware of what you're really capable of. But you do this with intentional action, and the creative spark of the divine. Let me see. This is big. Breathe, Leo. Maybe you've been feeling anxious. I've been feeling it too. It's like this full moon energy. I know walking into something brand new and this huge cycle of life, it's scary because it's like the equivalent of like that Fool's card of walking off that cliff into the abyss of things that you've never even thought that was possible. But the thing is, you're going on the right path because you are co-creating with spirit, and you will know this by how things just open up to you, and you know, opportunities just come to you, and even thoughts and ideas. Holy moly, this is too much. I don't this is, well, definitely I'm going to take these. So, take time to meditate. Take time to breathe. If you're feeling anxiety, do a guided meditation on YouTube or something. You feel this energy and this electricity because you are co-creating with spirit, and spirit did give you a gift, a divine gift, and it's time for you to share that gift with the world. You have a deep knowing of what that is for you in particular. And your intuition is definitely growing. And it came about with a lot of self-analysis and looking into yourself, your unconscious, your triggers, your own traumas, as to why you do the things you do, why things have happened, and to know that whether the situation was good and bad, that it's just another part of life, and we're all at different stages of life, and it wasn't done to inflict any deep wounds on you personally. It was done to awaken you into your own power, into your own intuitive gifts. And even if situations does look bad at times and painful and traumatic, it was made to awaken you into what those divine gifts are and how you could offer that to the world. You want to offer something, you have someone in mind, possibly a spiritual partner, and possibly that's ahead of you that you would like to give an offer to, or they you, and they see you as fated. And I just see so many amazing things for you. I wasn't gonna, but Shiza. This is fated, and this is what I said, chaos and conflict. It was meant to be this way. It was meant to be this difficult. It was meant to show you what was needed in order to grow you into who you are and what you're going to become, so you can go the distance and be resilient and to be confident within yourself. It's time for you to remove all of the conflict now, because you've learned everything that you could from it. You've learned all of the karmic cycles, and it's time for you to remove yourself out of it, because it does no good to stay in a karmic situation, whether a toxic job, relationship, or family unit, that just brings chaos and conflict, and it moves you away from your destiny. They did its job to help mold you into what you're supposed to be becoming now, like what you're meant to become. And that was a test, if you were able to move out of it, to actually go for the next step, because you've evolved past this, the chaos and conflict. You've evolved past it, and now it's time to rejuvenate, to regenerate your own energy, and to get your own life spark back, and to truly find yourself. And it's a lie that home is where the heart is, or wait, home is where you lay your hat, or that's a lie. It's not in any walls, it's within yourself. Because no matter where you are or where you go, you will never be lonely, or you'll never be abandoned when you know that you're secure and at home, because you are your home to yourself, your inner security, and which no one could actually bring this chaos and conflict and eat up your life and energy, because you've learned all you could. It was fated to go through the conflicts, through the fighting. It was fated to go through the betrayal, all of it. Just like it was fated for your parents to have the life that they did, and to be raised by their parents. It was fated. It's what was written in the stars, because each of us have our own divine life purpose that we have to find, and it'll give us tests along the way to see if we learned that particular lesson that we needed to learn in order to get to the next stage, and that we truly find ourselves. Because this is karmic. This is what it was meant to be, and this is how it will always be. And there's going to be a new cycle to something brand new, because this cycle of chaos and conflict is done. This is going to be something new and auspicious and amazing, as long as you don't bring the chaos and conflict with you. Because there's a lot of negative karma when it comes to negative people. Because if there's negative people who do negative things, create a lot of negative karma within themselves, we share that negative karma that they have with the people that we have around that's close to us, and they could definitely block blessings. They could definitely cause conflict, suck up our time, take our energy, and then suddenly we're not as effective as we are. And look at your relationships. Do you feel lighter after they're gone? Do you feel more rejuvenated because you had a lot of people that you gave a lot of attention to, that they were definitely unworthy and they were draining you? And now that you're more secure within yourself, you know that you don't need it. It's time to move away because you've got such amazing stuff for you. I mean, dang, Leo, you got such amazing stuff for you. Like, this is like gold, gold, gold happiness all around, and awesome. Anyways, I love you lots, and feel free to like, share, subscribe, the donation link below. And if I have any extra thoughts, I usually leave it on the bottom. And bye.